Hello. Welcome to First Dog on the Moon's Spoken Cartoons. I'm cartoonist First Dog on the Moon. And this spoken cartoon today is entitled Electricity Follies. It was published on The Guardian Australia on Wednesday, the 5th of November 2025. It's a three-frame cartoon, and as always, it has a little heading at the top. And the text reads, Electricity? Everyone loves the electricity, especially the Federal Minister for Electricity who's giving electricity away for free. They call it freaktricity. And I've put an asterisk there, which takes you down to a footnote that says they don't call it that, but they totally should. Underneath the text of the heading, I have drawn the Minister for Electricity, who doesn't actually look anything like the real Minister for whatever this program is. And that Minister is holding a bucket of what looks like electricity, saying, "Here you go," and handing it to a small child who says, "Thanks, Mr. Minister." Now, our first frame, it's broken into two parts. The text at the top reads, "The Albo government plans to give every quote-unquote Australian household 3 free hours of power at lunchtime every day as long as 1. You have a quote-unquote smart meter at your house, and 2. You live in Sassaquilnsua, which is South Australia, Southeast Queensland and New South Wales." And there's a rural looking person wearing a hat and chewing on a stalk of grass. There's a cow. And there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Sassaquilnsua." The second part of this frame starts with this text. "Why? Thanks to solar power, there's excess electricity in the grid in the middle of the day. It's just lying around in its undies doing nothing. Yet energy companies are furious they will be communistly forced to give you a tiny bit of it for nothing." And there's some worried looking person in a suit with a label that reads, "Energy CEO with hurt feelings." And they're saying, "Of course we won't just put our prices up. Why would you say such a mean thing?" On to frame 2. This is a list. The text at the top reads, "3 hours of complimentary artisanal electricity. What will you do with yours?" There are 6 things on this list, and the first one is, "Watch K-pop Demon Hunters twice." And there's someone with googly television eyes saying, "Go Guima." There is a toaster, and the next thing on the list says, "Make a lot of toast." There's an enormous pile of toast with someone looking delighted. Number 3, run your electric firewood splitter, and then I've drawn someone holding an axe which is connected to a PowerPoint, and they're looking at a piece of wood on a chopping block and saying, "Turn it on." Number 4, mine Bitcoin. Do not do this. Now, there's a computer. Number 5, try to bring life to a Frankenstein's adjacent monster. And it's a tiny drawing, but I'm quite pleased with this one. I've got Dr. Frankenstein, or whoever that is, has flicked a switch to turn the power on. Click, and they're saying, "Live, live," and electricity is coursing through the machine and into the creature that lies, it's Frankenstein's monster, that lies on the bed. And beside that is probably someone who is like Igor, Frankenstein's assistant, and is green. Number 5, manufacture your own hydrogen, and there's someone reading a book saying DIY home hydrogen, because I didn't know how to draw a hydrogen making machine. And finally, number 6, charge my Segway, and there's someone standing there looking lovingly at a Segway that's charging. Frame 3, the text reads, "So what's the catch? While some people may pay less for electricity, the Albo government will also keep opening coal mines willy-nilly and pretending climate change is someone else's problem." And then I've got 2 people. Someone's trying to make a choice between 3 hours free power or genuine action on climate change. And they're saying, but... And then someone over in the corner is saying, "Some people are never happy." And finally, the text at the bottom reads, "FYI, under a First Dog on the Moon government, electricity would always be totally green and free, generated by making the CEOs of power and fossil fuel companies ride exercise bikes." Oh, First Dog, you're so funny. And I've drawn someone furiously riding an exercise bike and charging a little power cell, and above that there's an enormous billboard which reads, "All Hail Emperor First Dog," and there's a picture of me looking emperory. And that brings us to the end of Spoken Cartoons for this edition. I hope you've had a lovely time. I've had a lovely time. I am First Dog on the Moon. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends. If I get enough subscribers, YouTube have said they will send me a lithium battery powered fire extinguisher for putting out lithium battery fires. Wouldn't that be great? Thanks for listening.